There's a moment, quiet, fleeting, right before we go to sleep, a moment when the mind has a chance to rest. And yet for many, it never comes. Because just as the body relaxes, the mind begins its nightly descent into a labyrinth of possibilities. What if I said the wrong thing? What if tomorrow goes badly? What if I never get it right? You stare at the ceiling, not because of insomnia, but because your thoughts won't let you go. This is the curse of overthinking. And it isn't just an annoying habit. It's a philosophical and psychological trap. One that keeps us suspended between the past and the future, never fully alive in the present. But to truly understand how to stop overthinking, we have to go deeper. Because the roots of this behavior are ancient, tangled in our biology, our culture, and our inner fear of being wrong, unloved, or unworthy. Let's untangle it, thought by thought. The illusion of control. Overthinking is seductive. It feels like thinking will somehow protect us, that if we just analyze the situation from every angle, we can avoid failure, rejection, or regret. But this is a lie. The philosopher Alan Watts once said, "No amount of anxiety makes any difference to anything that is going to happen." And yet we believe that worry is a form of preparation. Here's the problem. The mind loves certainty, but life refuses to give it. So we build mental simulations. We rehearse conversations, imagine outcomes, predict disasters, all in an effort to feel safe. But the more we think, the more uncertain we become, because every answer generates more questions. This is the first trap. We think overthinking brings control, but it only brings confusion. The fear beneath the thought. The real driver of overthinking is fear, often disguised. Fear of making the wrong decision, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. Philosophers like Søren Kierkegaard spoke of angst, a kind of existential anxiety that arises from our freedom to choose. When we make a choice, we also accept responsibility for the outcome. That weight can feel unbearable. So we delay. We spin in thought, hoping that if we just wait long enough, the perfect answer will appear. But perfection is a myth, and indecision becomes its own form of suffering. Overthinking is not about the problem itself. It's about our fear of what the problem means about us. Culture and the myth of always being right. Modern culture has made it worse. We're trained to optimize everything, our careers, our diets, even our relationships. Every choice feels like a test. Choose wrong, and you've wasted time. Chosen poorly, and you've failed at life. This obsession with the best path creates paralysis. The Stoics knew better. Epictetus wrote, "It's not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." Overthinking is the mind believing its own stories. Stories shaped by unrealistic expectations and social comparison. We are taught to fear failure. But what we should really fear is a life spent in hesitation, too mentally trapped to act. The thought loop mechanism. There's also a neurological reason we overthink. The brain has what psychologists call a default mode network, a system that activates when we're not focused on a task. This is when we daydream, ruminate, worry. It's the mental idle mode. And while it helps us reflect and learn, it also becomes the birthplace of anxiety when left unchecked. That's why overthinking feels so automatic. It's not always conscious. It's a well-worn mental loop, strengthened over time by habit and reinforced by emotional triggers. To break it, you don't fight the thoughts directly. You interrupt the pattern that feeds them. How to stop overthinking? A philosophical reset. So how do we stop? Not with willpower. Not by yelling at the mind to shut up. Instead, we must shift our relationship with thought itself. Embrace action over certainty. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor philosopher, believed in taking the next right step, no matter how small. You don't need to know the whole path. You just need to act. Action is the antidote to mental paralysis. Welcome imperfection. Perfection is the enemy of peace. The Japanese philosophy of wabi-sabi teaches that beauty lies in imperfection and impermanence. Accept that some things will go wrong. Accept that you will be misunderstood. Still, move forward. Anchor yourself in the present. Overthinking lives in the future and the past. It replays the old, rehearses the unknown, and never lets you fully land in the only place life actually happens, right now. But the present moment is quiet. It doesn't demand anything from you. It simply is. And that simplicity can feel terrifying to a mind addicted to control. That's why we fill silence with thought, because presence feels like surrender. But the truth is that surrender is where peace begins. Meditation, mindful breathing, a walk without your phone, or simply noticing the feeling of your feet on the ground. These aren't just wellness trends. They gently guide your nervous system away from hypervigilance and back into presence. This is not spiritual fluff. It's neurological self-regulation. It's your body remembering it's safe. Let thoughts pass without judgment. You are not your thoughts. You are the one watching them. The sky doesn't fear the storm. It holds it. In the same way, you can hold your mental noise without being defined by it. Thoughts are events, not facts, not fate. So let the thought come. Let it go. No need to grip or wrestle. Just witness and keep moving. Understand that thought doesn't equal truth. Not every thought is wise. Not every worry is insight. Some are echoes from childhood. Some are noise from the media. Some are pure fiction. Your mind can be a guide or a manipulator. The key is knowing when to listen and when to let go. A life beyond overthinking. Picture this. You wake up and trust yourself. You don't analyze every message or tone. You decide and move. You offer your full presence to the people in front of you, instead of living inside your head. This is not a fantasy. It's what becomes possible when you stop clinging to every thought as truth. Overthinking may still visit, but it no longer owns you. And when your thoughts lose their grip, you'll find what was underneath all along: a deep stillness, a quiet strength, a clarity that doesn't come from thinking harder, but from letting go. And in that space, life is no longer a problem to solve, but a reality to experience. One breath at a time, again and again, until the mind becomes your servant, not your master.
If this made you pause, if you're drawn to deeper truths and quiet strength, then you're in the right place. Like, subscribe, and keep exploring with us. See you in the next one.